Join us this episode as we finally leave Florida after almost 2 months. We are headed to one of our favorite haunted cities in the US, New Orleans. And we're going to explore some of the city's ghostly legends and folklore, and maybe hit up a secret vampire bar or two.
Okay, what did we decide?
Well, we decided that we're going to leave Pensacola today. We were going to stay here a little bit longer and maybe earn some money door dashing and move on to Louisiana. But we did some door dashing tonight and there's not really much happening, so I think we're just going to skip on to New Orleans area. We'll go stay. There's a few places to stay by Lake Pontchartrain, so we'll hang out there. We're just going to go at 7:30. We just said no point in hanging out here another night and another day, so we'll just go on to New Orleans direction. Months in Florida. It's a beautiful place, but yeah, we've just been moving very slow here, and
Yeah,
ready to skip along.
we're ready for some new experiences, new state, new stuff. So, but that's the beauty of van life. We can just decide we're gonna leave.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Cool.
So we woke up in New Orleans, and Rosa and I really love New Orleans. We came here once for Rosa's birthday, and we just fell in love with the place. The food, the culture, the music, and just the overall vibes of the place, and not to mention the haunted history. Now, if you're visiting New Orleans in a van, you're kind of limited on places to sleep. We had to be pretty stealthy. We ended up finding some quiet neighborhoods where we could pull in after dark and hop in the back. And we didn't have any trouble with those 3 or 4 spots. There's also a Walmart you can park at overnight, but other than that, it's pretty scarce. During the day, we'd go and hang out in different neighborhoods and try and get a feel for the city. We'd hang out in the parks, Audubon Park, New Orleans City Park, trying to explore outside the usual French Quarter district. We hung out mainly in Mid-City and the Garden District, which we really enjoyed. And we found this nice old library to hang out at where Rosa could get some work done. The building originally used to be a residence and used to belong to a silent film actor or actress named Marguerite Clark and an aviation pioneer named Harry Williams. And then they donated it and made it into a library. When they did convert it into a library, they kept all the original charm, so it's super nice and old inside. We find ourselves in a lot of libraries when we're on the road. It's a great place to get work done, charge your laptop, phone, stuff like that, and just generally have some peace and quiet. And a dedicated quiet workspace. And in the evening times, we would go out and explore the spooky neighborhoods. But first,
We're going to try Muffuletta today.
yeah, we're going to try the New Orleans famous Muffuletta. What is a Muffuletta?
It's a sandwich.
What's it got in it?
A bunch of lunch meats and your favorite olive sauce.
I don't like olives at all, but they say you have to try the Muffuletta with the olive dressing. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna try it with the olive dressing.
It's going to be delicious, hopefully.
first bite of a famous New Orleans Muffuletta. And I don't like olives, so we'll see how this goes.
It's good, right?
It's good. And it's hot as well. Yeah, I like it.
Wow.
Okay, go. Rose's first bite of a Muffuletta. It's good.
It's like salami.
The following footage was taken over a few nights exploring the French Quarter and the Garden District, looking for haunted history, movie locations, and just random famous houses.
So we are outside of another building I really wanted to see. It is the filming location for, you might recognize it from American Horror Story Coven, the girl school that is featured in the show, and it's just a beautiful building. Apparently it's the most photographed building in New Orleans, so, but it's a private residence, and you know, gotta be respectful of that.
But it was used in the American Store or Horror Story,
Yes.
the Coven,
The Coven.
which is one, the Coven, yeah.
The Coven, and then they had a season 8 Apocalypse, I think. I didn't watch that one, but apparently it's in that one as well.
All right.
Yeah.
Pretty cool place.
Really cool.
So this house right here was used in the movie Benjamin's Buttons, not Benjamin's Button, in The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. And this was the retirement home they used in the movie. You see the footsteps, the next to us. They actually used the interior as well. So there you go, pretty cool. Little Benjamin Buttons, I think, was placed on the back steps of these houses. And right here, we're at Lafayette Cemetery number 1. This is where Marie Laveau was buried. I think it's the oldest cemetery in New Orleans. Sadly, we can't get into Lafayette Cemetery number 1 as it's been closed for repairs for quite some time. But I can take you over to where Marie Laveau once lived. So, New Orleans is steeped in voodoo history, and it's still very much alive and practiced to this very day. It was also home to the most famous voodoo priestess, Marie Laveau, the voodoo queen herself. Now, Marie Laveau actually used her voodoo and herbal remedies to heal the sick at the time of the yellow fever here in New Orleans. She was also a very strong presence in the community, a very strong female activist in New Orleans at that time. And right here on St. Anne Street is the site where her house once stood.
Okay, so in front of Marie Laveau's house, you'll see there's a bunch of hair ties people have placed along the house. And the legend is, if you want her to grant you a wish, you're supposed to leave an offering. And since she was a hairstylist back in her day, people leave hair ties and hair, accoutrements in the hopes that they'll receive a wish, be granted a wish, if you will. So, little fun fact about the house.
So what are you about to do?
I'm going to leave an offering and hope I can have a wish granted.
And it's said, if you listen very carefully, you can still hear faint chanting and drumming from one of Marie Laveau's Voodoo ceremonies. And if you listen very carefully, you can hear me shake my pants, because I swear just somebody tapped me on the shoulder just now. Time now for a little refreshment break at New Orleans' oldest bar. Hello folks. Well, right now we're sitting outside one of the oldest bars in New Orleans, if not the US. This is Lafitte's bar. It is called Lafitte's Blacksmith Shop bar because it was once a blacksmith shop. It was built in 1722 and was home to the infamous Lafitte brothers, pirate brothers, might I add. So Jean and Pierre Lafitte were privateers and pirates. Now, what's the difference between a privateer and a pirate? It's pretty much the same thing. Only a privateer has government authority. And you can operate within the government's parameters as a privateer. Now, Jean Lafitte didn't always operate within the government's parameters. And it's said that he would attack any ship that he saw and loot it, and he was also known for smuggling in illegal slaves at the time. And so charges were brought upon him. But he was able to get pardoned for his participation in the Battle of New Orleans in 1814, I believe. And so he got pardoned, but he had to leave the state of Louisiana. And what are pirates famous for burying? Treasure. And where is some of that treasure supposed to be buried? Right here under the bar at Lafitte's Blacksmith Shop. So, Lafitte had to leave Louisiana. So he appointed one of his fellow pirates to look over the treasure while he's gone. Only to find out that said pirate was skimming a little off the top and, taking a little out here and there to go and pay for his, drinking and pouring and whatever else pirates do back in the 1700s. But anyway, Lafitte got wise to this, and he had that pirate killed here in Lafitte's Blacksmith Shop. And it's said on certain nights, if you stare into the fire, the old blacksmith fire here at Lafitte's, you can see a face staring back at you through the flames. That's said to be the pirate that he killed. So let's go in and have a strawberry daiquiri. I think they're called Voodoo daiquiris or a purple drink. So let's go and have a look. How do you like Lafitte's bar in New Orleans?
I liked it better when nobody knew about it. No, just kidding. It's cool. But they didn't have a piano bar here before. It wasn't a piano bar. But it is now.
was like jukebox before.
Yeah, it was like a jukebox.
Yeah, we could play the
And you
jukebox.
could like hook your phone up to it and just play. Remember we did that?
Yeah.
Which was cool. But now we're listening to this, and this guy isn't the best singer.
Sadly, there was no fire lit tonight, so no faces in the flames tonight. We took a walk down Bourbon Street to grab a slice of pizza when we stumbled across this. The Dungeon Bar, said to be a real vampire hangout. You enter down a narrow alleyway into a dark, gothic-themed, dingy bar where they play the jukebox loud. And no pictures or videos are permitted inside the bar. And I may or may not have been introduced to type O negative for the very first time. But know this, I did sneak some video inside the bar. And when I went to find it the next day, it was gone. So take from that information what you will. So that brings us to our next spot, the LaLaurie Mansion, once owned by Madame LaLaurie, who was a New Orleans socialite who was very well known for throwing lavish parties with the most fashionable, important people of the times. And it was during one of these parties that a fire broke out. And when the authorities arrived, they found secret doors that were locked and bolted. Upon opening the doors, they found slaves chained up with spiked collars. Some of them were missing limbs and mutilated. Some of them were hung, and others starved to death and bleeding from their wounds. Now, when the townspeople heard about the way Madame LaLaurie was treating her slaves, an angry mob formed right out here on the streets outside the mansion and essentially run Madame LaLaurie out of town. It said she fled to France, where her roots were, and she was never seen or heard from again. She was never caught or punished for her crimes. But a lot of passerbyers report a lot of strange activity that goes on here at the LaLaurie Mansion. You'll see lights flickering on and off. You'll feel ominous presence and whispering, and sometimes even tugging at their clothes. So, I mean, for what went on here, you'd imagine that there has to be some remnants of the horror that happened here on this site at the LaLaurie Mansion. And also, this place was owned by Nicolas Cage at one stage, a fan of the occult, if you will.
We're eating chicken. It's really good. Brothers. I've never heard you make that sound ever. Okay, honey. Oh. So where are we going?
We're going to Texas.
Going to Texas.
We're leaving our favorite place, New Orleans. It's been nice. We've been here for about 10 days, but we're ready to move along. It's getting a bit hot and humid here right now.
Yeah, last night it was, I think, 86% humidity. And yeah, it made for a very uncomfortable night of sleeping. And not that Texas is going to be any better, but
we get closer to New Mexico.
We'll get closer to New Mexico. And I've been really looking forward to New Mexico for a long time. I've only passed through, and you've never been, right?
I've never been to New Mexico or Texas, but
yeah,
we want want to do the Texas Chainsaw Massacre's filming locations. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that'll be. I mean, I'm not excited. That movie really is very scary to me. I think it's because I feel like that could really happen in Texas, in the the very rural parts. So I don't really want to be driving at nighttime while we're there. But no, it's good. New Orleans was really nice. Loved it. But
the history, the culture.
Oh, there's nothing like it, really.
The French Quarter, the food, everything. It's so good.
It's so
cool.
good.
If you haven't been to New Orleans and you're looking to vacation somewhere in the U.S., you should definitely go to New Orleans. You don't always have to go to Bourbon Street. That's not, where. That's where everybody goes. You can drink it. It's pretty crazy down there. It's, but there's something for everybody there.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't. I mean, I'm in my 40s and I didn't feel, like I was too old to be walking around and drinking at the bars or anything. Not that we went out too much, but
they got some really cool places.
Really cool places. So yeah,